Hello everyone. In the previous session, we have seen endocrine system, glands, and the two types of glands like exocrine and endocrine glands, hormones, etc. Before moving on to the next topic, let us have a look on this about hormones, which we already studied in the last class, right? Yes. As per modern definition, hormones are non-nutrient chemicals. What does it mean? Hormones are non-nutrient chemicals. We know that nutrients are for energy giving, bodybuilding purposes, right? They can be ingested, they can be digested and utilized by our body. But hormones are not like nutrients. They cannot be ingested and digested as like nutrients, which means they cannot be utilized by our body for energy, like carbohydrates and proteins too. Okay. Instead, they have a different job. So hormones are non-nutrient chemicals. Okay. And they act as intercellular messengers. Hormones act as intercellular messengers, which means they can carry instructions from one cell to another cell. So cell to cell communication. One cell can communicate with the other cell with the help of hormones. Cell-cell communication is mediated by hormones. So hormones act as intercellular messengers. Understood? And are produced in trace amounts, which means smaller quantities. Smaller quantities. But even in such tiny quantities, they have a powerful effect on our body. Okay? This is the modern definition of hormones. You have to study well. Hormones are non-nutrient chemicals which act as intercellular messengers and are produced in trace amounts. Yes. And this table shows the comparison of exocrine and endocrine glands on the basis of certain features. Features are listed in the left side. This column represents the features. Okay. Let us take the first feature, ducts. Obviously, exocrine glands have ducts present in them. But in endocrine glands, ducts are absent. That is why they are called ductless glands. Yes. And their secretions directly go to the bloodstream. Their secretions straightly go to the bloodstream, right? Exocrine gland. If this is the exocrine gland, see, the secretion will be carried by the duct. This is the duct. Okay, this is the duct. They are ducted glands. But in the case of endocrine glands, if this is a gland or hormone secreting cell, they secrete the things directly into the bloodstream like this. They do not have ducts to carry the secretions. Okay, but exocrine glands have ducts to carry the secretions. And exocrine glands are also known as glands for external secretion. Glands for external secretion. See, for example, salivary gland secretes saliva, right? And sweat glands secrete sweat. Then mammary glands, milk production. So these are exocrine secretions. Saliva, sweat, milk, all are exocrine secretions. These secretions can come outside of the body. That is why exocrine glands are also known as glands for external secretions, which means their secretions can come outside of the body. You just think about saliva or sweat. Okay. Then endocrine glands are also known as glands for internal secretion. Internal secretion, which means their secretions will be inside the body. Internal, inside the body always. They will not come outside. Let us think about hormones. Hormones always circulate in the bloodstream, right? Endocrine secretions always circulate in the bloodstream. That means the secretions are inside the body always. That is why endocrine glands are called glands for internal secretion. Understood the points? Okay. Now the second feature, type of secretions. Yeah, we know that exocrine gland secretions can be fluids like mucus, saliva, then sweat, etc., and enzymes which help in digestion. Okay, so types of secretions can be fluids or enzymes or even nitrogenous wastes in the case of exocrine glands. But in the case of endocrine glands, the type of secretions will be hormones always. They are hormones. And examples of exocrine glands: salivary glands, sweat glands, sebaceous glands. All these are examples of exocrine glands. And examples of endocrine glands, what all the endocrine glands you are going to study will be the examples, like pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland, all are the examples of endocrine glands. Now, what is the function of exocrine glands? Exocrine glands are mainly for digestion. You think about digestive juices. Digestive juices contain lot of enzymes for digestion, right? And they are also for lubrication. If they are secreting fluids which help in lubrication, temperature regulation, etc. Okay, these are the functions of exocrine glands. What is the function of endocrine glands? They regulate metabolic and physiological activities. We already know. Okay, and speed of action. Exocrine glands act quickly. They act fast and localized. But endocrine glands act slowly. It will take time because the secretions are poured into bloodstream, right? The blood has to travel blood has to travel heart, and from the heart to different parts of the body, so it will take time, but long-term effect. And the endocrine system work together with nervous system to maintain homeostasis. Endocrine system do not work in isolation. Also, nervous system do not work in isolation. They work together. They are like teammates. Actually, they are teammates. It is a teamwork to control all the physiological processes in your body. Understood? Endocrine system and nervous system work together. You know that nervous system is for control and coordination. Nervous system controls your body through neurons. That's why the control is called neural control and coordination. Neural control. So neural control is by nervous system. And then endocrine system is also for control and coordination, but through chemicals. That is why their control is called chemical control and coordination. So nervous system communicate to your body. Nervous system has a communication network of neurons. Also, endocrine system communicate to your body. Endocrine system has a communication network of chemicals or hormones. Chemicals are nothing but the hormones, right? Yes. And this endocrine system and nervous system communicate each other. They connect each other through hypothalamus. This is really interesting. See, this is hypothalamus, the master controller, hypothalamus. Okay, this is hypothalamus, and this is nervous system. I'm going to label all this. This is pituitary, and this one is adrenal gland. Okay. Endocrine system and nervous system communicate each other through hypothalamus. Okay, I will tell you how nervous system and endocrine system work together. Let us suppose when we are stressed, our nervous system send signals to hypothalamus. Okay, hypothalamus receives information from nervous system. Understood? And then it tells the endocrine system to secrete hormones. At first, it stimulates the pituitary gland. The pituitary stimulates the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland then release the hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Okay. In response to stress. If you are stressed, your nervous system will send signals to hypothalamus. Hypothalamus will then give instructions to the endocrine system to secrete the corresponding hormones to prepare our body. Okay, so nervous system connected to the endocrine system, or nervous system and endocrine system can communicate each other through hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is the connecting link. Hypothalamus is the connecting link. So nervous system will give instructions to hypothalamus. Hypothalamus then will give instructions to endocrine system to release hormones or to stop secreting hormones, which we will study in detail. Okay. Now let us compare endocrine system and nervous system on the basis of these features, the features listed in the left column. First one is type of signal. Both the systems, endocrine system and nervous system, can respond to stimulus. And the type of signal given by endocrine system is chemical. They send chemical signals, and these chemicals are nothing but the hormones. Okay. And nervous system will send electrical impulses and neurotransmitters as signals. Their signals are electrical impulses and neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters you might have studied. They are also chemicals, but not like hormones. Okay. Then the second one is speed of response. Endocrine system will respond slowly, from seconds to minutes or longer. Speed of response is slower in the case of endocrine system. But nervous system will respond very fast, quickly, within milliseconds. If you take impulse transmission, signal transmission in nerve cells, if you take two nerve cells, see, I'm going to draw the synapse region. Okay. What is synapse? The junction between two neurons is called synapse, and into this synapse neurotransmitters are released. Okay, this is axon ending of this neuron, and from here neurotransmitters are released, which will stimulate the next neuron to receive and transmit impulses. Okay, yes, this impulse transmission, this signal transmission from one nerve cell to another nerve cell will happen within seconds, not within seconds, within milliseconds, quickly. But in the case of endocrine system, the speed of response is slower, because I told you earlier that hormones are circulating in the bloodstream. The blood has to reach the heart first, and from the heart it has to be pumped into different parts of your body. So it will take time, since hormones are circulating in the bloodstream. Okay. Then duration of effect. Endocrine system has long lasting effect, can last hours or days. But in the case of nervous system, the duration of effect is short-lived, usually stops quickly. Okay. If you take impulse transmission in neurons, when this nerve cell sends signal to the next cell, the previous effect has already lost, right? Effect has lost. Understood? And see, this cell receives the signal, and when it sends the same signal to the next nerve cell, here also the effect has lost. Understood? So the duration of effect will be short-lived, usually stops quickly. Now, mode of transmission through bloodstream, endocrine secretions transmitted through bloodstream. In nervous system, through neurons or nerve fibers. I hope it is clear to you. In the next class, we can discuss the glands of the endocrine system. Thank you.